Good afternoon and welcome to my channel, Support the Support Worker. I hope you all are well and not suffering too much with the situation we're still in with the COVID-19. But I'm here to talk about something quite serious, guys, today. And it's about spam emails or fake emails that you receive. Now, I received two emails today. One was from PayPal and the other one was from, sorry guys, yes, about tax, road tax on my vehicle. So I'm going to go through them independently and make you aware of what type of things you can look out for when you're dealing with a spam email. So, as I said before, I'll be looking at two forms of emails I received, one from PayPal and one from the tax office, supposedly. So let's start off with PayPal. Now, PayPal account was as follows. So I sold something on Shopok. Now this is a site that you can go on and you can sell things on. I sold a particular item which was of high value. I'll give you the total. It was bought at £401. It was bought at. So I sold it on Shopok. The person bought it. He, for some reason, asked for the payment to go through via PayPal and not through the Shopok app. Now, I actually mentioned in my ad in the beginning that it would be helpful if he could pay via my Shopok app, which would be more secure for me. However, not to say that it's not secure to be paid via PayPal. I'm not saying that, but I would have preferred it to be paid on the Shopok app. Anyway, to cut a long story short, he gave me his email address and asked me to request the payment, which I did. I request the payment and then I received a PayPal, supposedly, email stating that the payment had been paid. So 400 and something pound has been paid via your PayPal account. So what I did as a form of precaution, the first thing that I did was look at my PayPal account. So I opened my PayPal account, and what was strange, it had the payment, but beside the payment, it had pending. Now this, obviously, alarm bell started ringing. So what did I do? I went back to the email address and I checked the following things. The first thing I looked at was the wording of the email. Now, the wording stated this: you received a payment from unknown. I won't give the person's name. By unknown. This payment is now pending and temporarily unavailable, providing no issues arise between you and the buyer. The fund will be released on verification of the shipment tracking number. So what that is saying is, once I've posted the item and confirmed a tracking number, then they would have released the funds, supposedly. So as I move on, I then get another email with, again, from supposedly PayPal, stating that, again, you can now ship any item. The money should be available balance with a short period of time after shipment has been verified. So the second email I received was just almost clarifying the first email I received via PayPal. So first of all, what was strange to me was the wording of the email itself. I know for a fact that when you get payment via PayPal, in terms of you request a payment and that payment is then sent via your account. That payment goes straight through to your account. There's no pending unless there is a causable reason why that item or your money is pending. Now that's something you can do by checking with PayPal, phoning up PayPal, sorry, I nearly said eBay then, phoning up PayPal and finding out exactly why that item that they paid for is pending. Now I chose to go even further by looking at the email. And the other thing I did was, yes, I looked at the wording, which is a bit strange, but then I looked at the email address. Where it came from, because obviously PayPal have their unique email address. So obviously this email address caught my attention even more. I knew it was then, at that point, I knew this was majorly suspicious. So to take it a step further, I then contacted PayPal. I rang them up and I spoke to a representative at PayPal. They happily confirmed that that email address that they gave me was non-existent. They told me that they did not send that email address, that email, which I knew. I totally knew at that point because obviously through my investigations. And that's quite important, guys. You need to investigate before you start processing anything, sending something anywhere before checking it out. It didn't take me that long to check it out. I looked at it, it looked a bit suspicious at the beginning. I'd done my research, I phoned the necessary people and it was dealt with. PayPal told me that this was a fraudulent claim and that I should stop all communications with that person. And then they took it upon themselves to investigate the claim. So that put an end to it. So moving on, as I said before, the tax email was even more stranger than the PayPal email. So this reads, your vehicle is no longer taxed. Now to begin with, my vehicle that I own doesn't include tax. My vehicle is tax-free because of the low emissions. So it doesn't require tax in the first place. So again, alarm bells were ringing straight away for me. This was an easy one for me to suss out, to be quite honest with you. But I took it further. I had a look at the email and it did not make any sense at all. But I'll read it to you. As I said, you will see this in the video, but I'll read it out anyway. It says reference blah blah blah. You have received this email to be notified that the payment for your vehicle tax has failed. Tax your vehicle now. And then it says, please note, if the information is wrong, DVLA will not be able to tax your vehicle and the risk to be fined £361. You'll also have to pay for the time it was not taxed. Yeah, right. I don't know where they got that figure from, £361 being so acute. But anyway, I continued. The next thing that I looked at, again, which is very important, and sometimes we don't do this, but it's very important to understand, is where it came from. And it's a simple thing. Where did the email come from? So I happily went into the sent, or where it was sent from, and I found out that this was sent from not the tax office, but from a person. Had the person's name on the email sending address. So that again made me think, this is fake. Now, I know that at the end of the day, when people are in a hurry, or they're stressed, or they're dealing with a lot of issues, they don't have time for things like this, checking things. But I tell you something, it could make a world of difference. And now we're in a time when things are very tough in the UK in terms of financially because of the COVID and everything else that we're going through. It's very important to spend a little bit more time trying to figure out whether these emails, and I'm sure a lot of people around the world will be receiving emails like this rapidly. You have to put a stop to this. You have to stop these fraudulent people taking the absolute beeswax. They are just preying on vulnerable people, and it has to stop. And if I can demonstrate and show and help people to not go through fraudulent claims, I will stop these people doing this, because it's not on. We shouldn't be going through this when we're dealing with other issues. So guys, please take note of this video. If you want any further information, please drop a comment below and I'll be happy to give you any information that can help the situation. I hope this was clear enough. I hope you keep safe. Please subscribe, please like, please comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.